YouTube, what's going on? We're back with more of the First Descendant. We got Viessa rocking her Cold Snap Watch build, running a showcase run in the infiltration operation, Bastion of Immortality. The Cold Snap Watch build is a relic from the past, but with Viessa's buffs, I've been going through all her builds, and with the buffs they gave her, she's so fun to use. Viessa was my First Descendant, loved the buffs that they gave her. As always, everything's timestamped in there for you guys. This thing will absolutely destroy endgame content. You guys are appreciating the videos. You guys are liking the content. As always, please feel free to turn on notifications, sub to the channel, drop a like. Down we go. Come on, go down. Jesus. fuck, that's good shit. Nice, getting a lot of dimensional keys too. Oh, that was a pretty nice run. Alright, this is my Viessa Cold Snap Watch build. Again, with Viessa's updates, the ice spheres, Viessa's builds are, I feel like each and every one of them is viable and very fun to use. And they can all hit and take care of endgame content. So, again, can't stress it enough. Love that they gave Viessa the buffs that she has. She's my first Descendant, so I love what they've done with her. We'll get right into it. Comes to the reactor, we want the frozen mixture reactor, skill critical hit damage, and the chill skill power boost ratio for the rolls on the bottom. With my external components, I run this with a 4-piece Slayer set. Again, to take advantage of the base skill power boost ratio of 26.1%. As always, when you're running the Slayer set, just be aware that there is an additional 15% skill cost added to all your skills. You just gotta kind of offset that when you're when you're building out your modules for Viessa. And then when defeating an enemy, again, it's nice. It inflicts toll and recovers MP and specialized resources by 17% at a 12.2% chance. So the chances are not really high, but it's nice when it does proc and all the enemies are towed together. Obviously, the MP regain and all that stuff is great as well. It doesn't happen, very often, or not enough to be like it's fantastic. When it comes to the core rolls, again, as you can see with my auxiliary power, I run it with the max HP and defense, and I run that consistently throughout the 4-piece Slayer set. When it comes to my my rolls, again, anything with shield recovery, HP recovery, MP recovery, all those things are fantastic. Again, electric resistance, defense, really good. Max MP recovery in combat. That's like my favorite role with the sensor. The MP recovery in combat is huge, and fire resistance and max HP. So anything that's increasing max HP, elemental resistances, shield recovery, HP recovery modifiers, those are all things that you're kind of striving for. When it comes to the overall survivability of the build, again, we're running this about 7,000 hit points. We got about 3,000 shield, almost 40k defense. So the sum of all of that gives you some really nice survivability within the build without having to overdo it, and using being able to utilize other modules for more damage output. Arche Tuning, I run this with the skill critical hit rate build, but again, skill cooldown, skill power. Again, I like to run this with the steady hands for additional skill critical hit damage, just to really, again, put more hurt on the enemies. I like this one. There's other options. I do run other options, but I do like the steady hands for more consistent damage output. And again, we want to capstone the skill cooldown because we're spamming the hell out of our skills, and I cap the skill power as well, just to give us that another bump in damage output. Range is huge with Viessa, and again, we want the skill cost reductions, right? Because we just went over the 15% skill cost increase in the external component. When it comes to the Inversion Reinforcement, I like to run this with the emergency antibody for attribute resistance. Selective neurostimulation, again, this is just every 45 seconds we're recouping a set percentage chance of MP. There's 3 different options there that can trigger. It also synergizes nice with our fellow, which also recovers 16% of our max HP at a 45-second interval. So really nice with the the MP regain aspects in the build. And I like to top it off again with the additional skill cooldown. So you can, if you're finding that you're running out of MP, you can switch over and apply the skill cost. But again, we really want these skill cooldowns as low as we can possibly get them. so that we're just able to spam them as much as possible to put the hurt on the enemies. Again, you can swap that out for focus boost if you're having some issues with the overall mana. Fellow, we went over it real quick. We run this with the mana. As you can see, right here we got the 16% auto MP recovery modifier, and again, Fellow automatically recover Descendant MP every 45 seconds. The Descendant modules, I run this with the trigger module Power Beyond. Again, that's just the base 15% skill power increase when we run the Power Beyond. And when it comes to obviously the Transcendent module, we're running a Cold Snap Watch. And again, it creates a cold snap zone in front that remains for a certain time. So it's a tick damage, or it's an ice sheet laydown. Enemies walk into it, they're getting shackled, and then they're getting tick damage or damage over time from the Cold Snap Watch. And as you can see, it creates a chill zone in front, inflicts damage and ice shackle on the enemies that come into contact with the chill zone. We've got this on a 8-second duration with a 3-second or 4-second cooldown. So again, the duration's up, our cooldown is low. We're able to loop this and apply almost 2 Cold Snap Watch ice sheets before one runs out. So really nice. Again, this is why we run this with high cooldown. We try to mitigate the the MP cost in the build, but as you can see, mine's just slightly under. We only generated a downtick of 1 MP cost, but you can apply different modules than I do, and we'll go over that. But this is the Cold Snap Watch, really fun to use, and it hits very hard. It's a viable build, really good build for Viessa. We want to run that with the mid-air maneuvering. That's standard. We just want those the extra module capacity. And again, everything right with the ice spheres, again, these things are crazy. They stay up the whole time. They're dealing massive amounts of damage. They just don't disappear. These things are exploding and just taking care of business out on the field. Really love the ice spheres. The blizzard, all of these things, again, we've got tech, we've got fusion. We're running this with a fusion reactor, right? So we've got 3 fusion skills. Our only tech is our blizzard. But at the end of the day, we're spamming these as much as possible. Not that we're not spamming the blizzard, but again, it's not our primary drop. We're really trying to get our frost shards up. Obviously, we have our frost roads pop the whole time, and we're just laying down the Cold Snap Watch for that damage tick, which coincides nice with the blizzard. But again, because we're on fusion and primarily fusion, we're going to get the most out of our fusion based skills. Skill cooldowns, again, MP conversion, nimble fingers. Go standard, get that down as much as you possibly can. Got the skill insight, skill concentration. Again, that's our skill critical hit rate and damage modules. Focus on chill, focus on fusion. Again, more skill cooldown, but we're able to gain some chill damage and some fusion damage. Skill expansion. This is comes standard with Viessa. She doesn't have a lot of range on her skill, especially your blizzard, and you want the ice sheets to spread out as much as possible with the Cold Snap Watch. Definitely put a range mod on there. And I got the strong mentality. Again, when it comes to the skill cost, you could go with maximize conservation. I don't like running this just simply for the fact that I take a 20% skill power modifier, so I don't need the skill cost that much where I would take a 20% skill power modifier hit. That's why I run it with a strong mentality. Again, if you're having issues with the skill cost, go ahead, slap on the maximize conservation. I know I'm sitting here debating or saying that I wouldn't take it because of the 20% skill power modifier decrease, but you don't really feel that over the scope of it. It's again, you are taking a little bit of a hit on your skill power. That's kind of why I don't like running it. And I run this with the emergency measures. Again, anything with the skill critical hit rate to drop to proc up to get us as close to the max cap at 100%, the better. and we're able to achieve that also through our weapon, which I'll go over as well. So the emergency measures, skill critical hit rate, skill critical hit damage. The front lines, it goes the other way where you get more damage and skill critical hit rate. I mean, you can do you. Again, I'm trying to achieve as much skill critical hit rate as possible. Our damage is up there, so it's you know, again, that's why I run the emergency measures, because I want that skill critical hit rate. When it comes to your Ancestor module, again, skill critical hit damage, skill critical hit rate, we want these in gold, red. This is a great module, because I also got some max shield in there in purple with no, you know, unfortunate module that's going to reduce my, you know, my health or something like that. So it's I like that module, and we just keep rolling for the best modules that we can. But skill critical hit rate, skill critical damage, that's what takes us to the zenith when it comes to those two percentage points. And we'll go over it once I go over the weapon, just to show the overall you know, stats of the build. Those are the modules. So with the weapon, the blue beetle, again, these are my cores on the top, these are my rolls on the bottom. At the end of it all, we run the blue beetle just because of the sprint speeds. Obviously, we like to move around the map really quick, but it's the unique ability. So when using a fusion skill, grants self the unique effect arcane energy with a set chance, and then when we use a singular, you know, grants purification. We don't have any singular built into this, but we do have this. So the trigger rate is 100% at a 10-second duration, and we get an additional 115% skill critical hit rate. So this is huge, and I will show you why. So again, this is triggered at 100% every 10 seconds. So every time we pop a fusion skill, again, just went over it, 3 out of our, you know, 3 out of the 4 abilities available to us are fusion, and this thing's going to generate the skill critical hit rate based off of that at 115% for 10 seconds. So when that goes live, as you can see here, the skill critical hit rate, I already have it at 92.78. When we pop a fusion skill with the blue beetle equipped, this hits the limit. This puts me over the top at 100% skill critical hit rate. And as you can see, my damage is almost at 600%. So we're definitely laying down the hurt. We've got our cooldowns. We've got the range in there. We've got the chill and fusion power. We've got our fusion modifier. So we're really putting on some nice damage input. And as you can see, we do have the skill cost reduction. Instead of taking you know, increased skill critical skill cost, we actually have it reduced by 3.3%. And I went over options that can further reduce that for you. So that is the Cold Snap Watch build for Viessa. Again, this is like a relic from the past. I loved the Cold Snap Watch when it came out, and obviously with the updates Viessa has been given, this build is great. It absolutely fries the higher level content. Got the showcase run there, and the newest infiltration operation, and she takes care of it with these. So if you're looking for an alternate build, looking for something else to run with Viessa, give this a shot. It's an awesome build.